essential role of this important forum. Ladies and gentlemen, Davos Forum comes back again to Sharm el-Sheikh and to the Middle East, and the whole world is witnessing a crossroads amidst regional and international challenges, where the whole world faces severe economic crisis that started by the collapse of the U.S. real estate and financing market, and the rates of economy started to retreat. The world is overcoming severe waves that witness unprecedented increases in the prices of energy, the basic foods and the materials, and affect greatly, in the first place, the poor countries and the poor people inside the one country. This forum is held while these issues have become the topic of the issue of both the developed and developing countries, and the business of the international institutions and organizations and those who work in politics and the academia, together with the thinkers, the economists, and those who are interested in the affairs of the world. The current international crisis introduces many problems where in its economic where intertwine the social and economic dimensions intertwingle, and also the issues of the climate change and the water and energy supplies and the economic growth rates and the standard of living in the developed and developing worlds. Providing food security to the poor represents a basic challenge, and it is a great responsibility towards the poor and the least, the minor income people, including the poor people of the rich developed countries. And this target should not be a point of auctioneering that raise the rises of prices, and orientations that use the food of people as a fuel to the machine. Is it reasonable that some people go on in producing the biofuel supported by their governments? Is it reasonable or acceptable that the agricultural crops be used in producing ethanol in order to increase the crisis of food? The international community is in a dire need to re-estimate the genuine cost of producing the biofuel, with its social and environmental reflections and its repercussions on the food security of the humanity. There would be a dire need to an urgent international dialogue around its table, the exporter-importers of food, meat from the developed and developing countries, a dialogue that introduces solutions to fulfill the food needs of the people, and at the same time provide supplies of energy to the global economy. A dialogue that results in solutions we all agree upon and abide by. We are facing difficult challenges, and we should deal with as the responsibility which is collective. We all face the effects, the negative effects of the climate change, and all the related types of production and consumption, and all what it may cause of drought, desertification, and phenomena of global warming. We are facing a vicious circle imposed by the relation between the energy and food supplies, in order to make all of them both a reason and a result at the same time to the present crisis of the international economy. And they both share in its aggravation. to the extent that they threat by turning it into a chronic crisis unless we all do our best to contain it. I'll carry this invitation to make a dialogue on that international concern to the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO next month in Rome, and I'm looking forward to that, all that it may guide both the developed and developing countries to the right path to contain this crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting was held 2 years ago here in Sharm el-Sheikh with the emblem of a promise to a new generation, a promise that summarizes the aspiration of the Middle East peoples to a better tomorrow and future that bears prosperity and peace to the whole, and to a favorite international climate to support its march and aspirations. And where are we now from that promise? Has the world and the Middle East become in a better standard to make it fulfill it? Here in this hall I invited to stand against the constant rise in prices of energy, and I called for redressing the orientations of the world economy and the structural imbalances in the public budgets of some big economic powers, and to the imbalances in the exchange rates. I called for supporting the agricultural commodities and warned from the protective orientations of some developed and developing countries and from its repercussions on the international trade and the Doha round negotiations. Where are we now from all of that? The Middle East is craving for peace, stability and development, and it gets over an important stage towards the political and economic, even the social reforms, and it has strategic and natural, even human resources that enables it to realize stability. Has the promise of peace been realized? And the stability of this sensitive region, where is it from what happens in Darfur, Somalia, Lebanon and Iraq? What about shaking stability in the Gulf region? The Middle East and the whole world has witnessed many developments since we last met. Have we become more able to face these common challenges? Have the dangers of terrorism and the mass destruction weapons retreat? What about the millennium objectives? What about the issues of social justice, human rights and poverty? What about the issues of education, environment, children, women? What about our movement towards organized crime and money laundering, even the human trafficking? Any objective assessment to the regional developments and the international ones along the past 2 years will recognize that the expectations of the Middle East towards peace and stability has not come true, and that the international atmosphere did not support these eligible aspirations.